Hello again. Welcome back to the podcast. This time it's my week, and we all know what I like to talk about, okay? We all know this at this point, and it's pretty people. So, in that spirit, let's just get it right out on the fucking table right the fuck now, okay? Just right now. Ewan McGregor. Ewan McGregor is a very pretty man. And in that vein...
If you're talking about Star Wars, I'll stab you.
I would like to. We have to talk her into watching it.
No. Oh my goodness.
I want to talk about the movie Down with Love.
Oh, okay.
Because Ewan McGregor. Okay?
Praise be.
her.
Apparently. Oh my God.
We told her
Praise be
to
his
be
name.
a little bit more energetic with the intro.
Just don't be
And
so-
she goes, welcome to the podcast, Ewan McGregor's dick.
I don't want to talk about his dick. I don't care about his dick.
Oh
I
my
just want to
God.
talk
Oh my
about his
goodness.
pretty, pretty face. His pretty, pretty face is what I'm getting out of this. So, I need his pretty face to make with the acting.
Oh my God. Oh my
So
God.
how many managers
You
can...
can't.
What?
I apologize, but apparently this is my thing, is talking about the pretty people. And let's face it, when
Beautiful people.
I watch the movie Down with Love, first off, I am watching it for the aesthetic. I just love the whole feel of the movie. But also, Ewan McGregor's goddamn pretty. He's got pretty hair. He's got his soft little face. He's got this accent going on.
He's like, I have a chiseled, handsome
He's
face.
very...
And I will not listen.
Yeah, like, I could not fall in love with this character. This character is a reprobate. But...
She's saying words. Let her live.
Okay, so if you have not seen this movie, it is set in the 1960s.
Mhm.
It is basically... Ewan McGregor plays a character called Catcher Block, and he is a playboy. As in, he sleeps with a different person every half an hour. Like, he's just all over the place. He is gorgeous, which is why he gets away with it. Gorgeous and charismatic and absolutely beautiful to watch.
Also rich.
And rich, yes. And he is famous. He's a famous journalist. He's very charismatic. He's kind of like the bard in a D&D group, you know? He's very,
Oh my God.
he'll worm his way into deep situations just through his charm and charisma. And he writes these big exposés. That's his thing, is he writes these huge exposés for this fancy magazine. Well, what happens is there's this other woman played by Renee Zellweger, she's lovely in this movie. She's just so cute.
She does a good job.
She's adorable. She comes in and she's Barbara Novak. And her thing is that she's written this book, which is called Down with Love. And it's a how-to book for women. It's how to take your own piece of the pie, basically. It's grab your own
Kind of
power.
Basically smashing
Kind
the
of thing.
patriarchy in the 60s.
It's, you know, guys get to sleep with whoever they want to. You know what? Now do we. We get to do it.
Right.
We do not have to have sex with people we're in love with. We can have sex to have sex. You know, we need to...
But it's also, I don't have to be a housewife.
Exactly. I can do my own thing.
Right, I can be a bigger person.
I can go my
Yeah, she
own
can go her own
way.
way. And that she's written this whole big book about women needing to take their own power back, kind of thing. And her agent, her name is Vicki. I don't know what that actress's name is, but she is lovely
love her.
too.
Yeah.
Again, the visuals in this movie are just fantastic, and the acting's pretty damn good.
And Jeanette's dog
And
just adds
leave
to
him
the
alone.
story.
He's a good boy. So, the publisher comes in. You know, she's like, I'm going to publish your book. But she is a female publisher in a male-run, very patriarchy establishment kind of
Right.
thing. And they're letting her do her thing, just, like, passing a crumb to the woman out of, like, magnanimity, you know?
Magnanimity.
Yeah,
Hard
so
word to say. I don't like it.
It is a difficult word. But yeah, so they're just kind of like, okay, go ahead and pat, do your thing. And so she's going to run off and try and publish this book. Well, the thing is, they try to get Catcher Block to do an interview with her, because if he can get an interview with her, then her name and her book would be out in public, whatever. Well, he is kind of an asshole. He is very self-serving. He is very, I don't care. And he ends up not wanting to do the interview, keeping like, I have to postpone, and eventually she tells him to fuck right off.
Because she knows he's getting laid instead of doing her
Yes,
interview.
she knows. Well, then her book takes the fuck off. It's amazing. It's huge and popular. And he's like, oh crap, I lost my chance to get an interview, but I'm going to do an expose. I'm going to manufacture this other persona. I'm going to pretend to be a dude who has not been on this planet for the last 6 months, knows nothing about her, and I'm going to worm my way into her trust, and I'm going to make her fall in love with me and prove that at their core, that's all women want, is to fall in love.
Right.
And
so there's two really important things that I feel like you skipped. Number one, the reason he's not on this planet is because he's pretending he's from NASA.
yes,
Pretending he's an
he
astronaut.
pretends he's an astronaut. Very
And
wholesome,
two-
very southern, very
Really
Zip Martin.
He's Zip
Yeah,
Martin.
Major Zip Martin. And the second thing that I feel like you skipped is that her book got famous enough for her to be on TV, and then she called him the worst kind of man.
Yes.
She publicly denounced
Yes.
him.
They
as
asked
the
her,
worst.
like, what's the kind of man that people should avoid? And
You're
she was
not
like,
asking me to
ha
name
ha,
names.
catch her block. Because
Yeah.
at this point, he had snubbed her multiple times, and she was
Yeah.
like, eat a whole bag.
And that's what
And-
causes
right.
the
That's
animosity.
what, and then he's like, I have to take her down because she
Well,
tried
because
to take
then
me
the
down.
women he's been
And
going
then,
to are listening to her now.
He's like,
so why
oh,
would they have
let's
sex
go
with him?
have dinner or whatever. And they're like, no, don't need this from you. Don't need you. Because he is kind of a butthead. And then, yeah, it's...
She's disrupted my life, so I'm going to
She's
ruin
disrupted
hers.
my life, so I'm going to ruin hers. And there's a lot of sexual tension because clearly he wants it, but he's fighting against that because he's trying to prove a point.
Right.
And then she, like, it's fun. It is a fun movie to watch these people, and they're both very charming. You know, they're both doing their thing. And, I mean, it's not a good movie.
It's not.
It's not. It's really not.
The actors are mostly good.
I
don't care for Renee Zellweger myself.
I like Renee Zellweger.
Y'all can like
You
her.
don't like Renee Zellweger?
I
I
do
don't really
like
care
her.
for.
I
No.
have liked her in almost everything I've seen. her
Maybe
in.
maybe it's this
She did
movie
really
that
well in
ruined it.
Chicago.
This movie,
Well,
no. I think this movie may have been ruined it
honestly,
because of that 5-minute monologue at the end.
The 5-minute
That was
monologue
supposed
a
to be
huge-
funny. It was supposed
the camera
to
was
be.
just
The
like
camera
dead in,
was
and
on
she had
her.
her whole. This is what's
It
been
never
going on.
flipped. You know,
It
if
never.
the camera had flipped back for 0.2 seconds to
Just to
him.
him being like,
Right.
But I know
Yeah.
why they did it that way. They wanted to prove
They
that she
wanted-
can memorize that. And
Oh,
oh my
yes.
God, the story is just flowing out of her.
and no,
But it was
I-
also supposed to be like a
5-minute
like
shot.
an homage to like other movies back then that did that.
I
there's
just
a lot of
can't.
things in this movie that are like,
It was so bad though.
It was
5 minutes of
fine.
her being like, "Let me tell you what I did."
and, you know,
And then if you look, the camera's like ever so slightly zooming in the entire time.
yeah, just.
Ever so slightly.
And I'm just like, I don't need it.
I think the only thing that I would have taken out of this movie.
Renee Zellweger.
No,
I'm just
like Renee
kidding. I'm just
Zellweger.
kidding.
keep
I don't
her.
hate her that much.
Well, didn't she get up for
There-
an Oscar for something recently? Wasn't she up for an Oscar somewhere?
I'm not
I can't
sure.
remember.
I know I really like her. Like again,
Well, she
everything
did
I've
well in
seen,
Chicago.
I've liked her. Yes.
And
good in
even though it's
Chicago.
a terrible, awful film,
Everyone
I
in
like
that
Me,
movie is
Myself, and
awful.
Irene.
The only character that's worth anything is Amos. Everybody else,
Yeah,
Mr.
poor John C.
Saloff.
Reilly.
Just- he's the only character who actually seems like he's got a good soul deep down. Everybody else just, I mean, Catherine Zeta-Jones, clearly evil. Richard Gere, equally evil. Like,
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Murder
I mean,
people.
even Queen
You know who else
Latifah.
murdered
Well,
people?
I mean, but it's justified.
Anyway.
Cool story, still murdered, but still, like,
Oh my
Andy Samberg,
goodness.
notwithstanding. So this movie,
Yeah.
though. This movie.
yeah, this movie.
Oh, David Hyde Pierce.
David Hyde Pierce
We
is
have not
there.
talked about David
We
Hyde
have not
Pierce.
talked. He is a like,
Delight is what he.
He kind of wants to be Catcher Block, but he's too good to be
Well,
Catcher
he's
Block.
too-
He's goofy.
He's too nerdy,
He's-
goofy, awkward.
Well, honestly, he's too noble. He can't.
Yeah.
At the end,
also.
he kind of darkens it up a little, Peter McManus. But
For 12 seconds,
Like-
and then he backs out again. You
I
can't
know.
do it.
Okay, I just want to talk about David Hyde Pierce for a second.
We
He
love
was
David
one of
Hyde
my
Pierce.
first loves, like Niles
Oh,
Crane.
goodness.
Oh my god.
Oh,
No,
goodness.
it's definite a love thing. It's not it's just Niles Crane, you know. And so seeing him in this movie, I was like, you're not quite Niles Crane, so I don't.
He's really close though with the suits
Yeah.
and the behaviors
And the cooking,
And
is
the
nice.
cooking.
Yeah,
It's a movie. Sure
yeah,
is a movie.
sure is. But yeah, like the humor is. But no, the only scene that I don't care for, just me personally, there's a scene where they're both getting ready for a date.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you don't like the bossa nova.
I don't like the bossa
Oh,
nova.
God, no.
Oh, my
I
God.
hate that.
I
you know,
hate it.
as a feminist moment, can I point out that I'm a lady and I'd be listening to Frank Sinatra.
Uh-huh.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
fly me to the moon.
Well, it's a little bit. Well,
I hate that. I hate it so much.
I don't
You
want
know?
to say that femininity can't be soft. That it's like it's unfeminist to let a woman be soft. That's not true. Some women are soft. Some women like being gentle. Some women like being, fluffy.
I wrote a story in English one time, and she was a female feminist superhero, and she was wearing a dress, like a leather dress. And my male teacher was like, if you're a feminist, why is she wearing a dress?
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck you! She can wear
Like,
what she
let
wants!
her wear what she fucking wants. And that's
so
the thing.
on the one hand, I completely approve of her wanting to wear the flowy dresses and wearing the shoes with little
if
fuzzy
that's
bits.
her personality, do your
But I
thing.
really hate that song.
just-
I would listen to the Frank Sinatra being all,
well, that's
"You
the thing,
were
like,
all
I
along
mean,
dark."
bossa nova was, like, big right then.
Bossa Nova was huge. I just don't like the sound of it. I much prefer the jazz. Like, I much
That's what I'm
prefer
saying. In
the...
other words,
Like, Frank
please
Sinatra,
be
the music was pretty dang
true, in other
good.
words.
And, like, Dean Martin was good.
Yeah, but
and,
it's
like, that
supposed to be
whole
a
era.
contrast between
And
men
it
and
is.
women.
In
It's the
other
whole
words,
thing. The
you
whole
know,
movie is about the battle of sexes.
Him being
like,
jazzy and energetic, and her being romantic and soft,
right.
And
But
I
hate
get
the
it,
saxophone.
but I don't like it.
hate the
Eh,
saxophone.
I don't think it has anything to do with feminism. I
Yeah.
just think it's personal preference
Well,
for you guys.
I do think...
I don't mind it. I think it's kind of cool.
I think
and
it's
I
unfeminist
I like the
to
contrast
tell
between
women
the
that
two
they can't be
songs.
soft. I think it's not feminist to be like, you can't like pink because pink's been forced down our throats, so
Right.
therefore it's forbidden.
No.
But she was
No,
wearing pink
if
the
you
entire scene.
well, if you like pink, you like pink. Pink's a nice
Right,
color.
fuck it.
It's,
Pink used to be pale.
pink used to be male. First off, color has no gender. It's stupid that color has a gender.
Right.
But also it's stupid that, you have to do that thing where, I'm not like other girls. Well, why not?
Why the fuck not?
Why the fuck not? Girls are fine. Girls are great.
Like, why should you belittle other women
Yeah,
just to bring
stop
yourself
beli-
up?
And
Like-
pink is a fine color. It's just that it was shoved down our throats so often. It's like that's the only color we're allowed to have, so there's kind of a natural backlash to that.
Yeah, I went through that. I
But,
went through a
yeah.
phase of like hating it just because.
Like obviously I have to be a tomboy because at least then I'll be accepted kind of thing.
right.
And it's just not
Well,
okay.
it's
If
how
women
can a
wanna
color be
like
oppressive?
pink-
You know what I mean? But it
Exactly.
fucking is. Like,
I just no,
I don't know.
it's- if Barbara, which this does seem like her kind of thing, that she would like the soft and the pink and the floaty, do your thing. I don't personally care for that. I
it's
want
supposed
the jazz,
to be the
but I
contrast
get it.
because his apartment
Yeah.
is all blues and browns and blacks.
And brass.
Very
Lots of
manly,
very masculine.
brass color.
Oh, yeah.
And then her apartment is very futuristic and bright
soft
and pretty.
and round and there's
yeah,
whites
rounded
and pinks and
Yeah,
there's a
It's
definite
supposed to be a contrast, and so I mean, if you're gonna play music, then why wouldn't you change the music? I
Right.
think it was
Well,
pretty cool of
it
a scene.
fits the
What
scene
other
and it
what
fits
other
the
movie does that?
character.
Where like it contrasts back and forth.
I'm sure there's
You know what I
there's
mean?
other movies.
I'm just saying,
I'd
like
have
when
to
I think of
about
that,
it.
I think of that movie because that scene is really cool.
Well, the cinematography of this movie is very nice.
Right.
Like, there's some that are clearly on a soundstage. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, that's so fake, I could scream. But, again,
The car riding
60s
scene.
aesthetic.
But also the fashion is
if
pretty.
it kind of feels like an old Doris Day movie. Like,
it's like
it feels
it's like all the colors in this movie are saturated.
they are.
It's like it's
so
just
rich.
so bright and just
It's-
like
There's a
yeah.
scene, which I personally really like it. Vicki and Barbara walk into a restaurant, and they're wearing opposite coats. Like, one is wearing a solid color and one's wearing checkerboard. And then they take off the coats, and they're wearing each other's dress color. Like, the one that was wearing the yellow coat is wearing a black checkerboard dress, and the one that's wearing a black checkerboard coat is wearing a yellow dress. And it's
Right.
neat. It is a neat visual.
don't they play like a harp when they take off their coats?
They make it
Isn't
very
there a harp?
dramatic. There's very... And there's, like...
This movie
I think there
is
was saxophone.
played up a lot. It's
Well,
very
again, it feels like
I mean,
an
it's
old
a
Doris Day
comedy.
movie. It feels like a 50s, 60s, like, aesthetic.
I mean,
got
it's
that
not
kind of thing
exactly
going
a
on.
very serious film.
It's goofy.
You know what I mean? I
It's
mean,
a comedy.
they do bring
It's
up
100%.
good like arguments and stuff, and so that is very serious. The arguments they're talking about.
Yes.
But just the set and the production and everything about this movie and some of the lines, it's very.
Some of the dialogue. There's this scene where Catcherplock is having a conversation with Peter McManus. They are talking about his socks. They are talking about how he doesn't have to wear the little clip things to hold up the socks anymore because he's got the space age fabric. He's got the nylon. It's the sock of the future. And they're talking about how, look how it stays up and how I don't have to, And the secretary listens in. She was trying to like transfer the call forward or whatever, and she accidentally hits a button where she can hear what they're talking about. And it sounds a little suggestive because he's talking about, look at that, it's 12 inches. And Peter's like, how do you get it to stay like that? And it's very like, oh my, and the secretary faints because my God.
1960s.
Well, also
Right.
because Catcher Block has quite a reputation at this point.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
he was very Casanova.
Well, the movie does that, though, the two scenes playing against each other, like you were talking about. They do that again, though, with the pretend sex scene.
Oh, yeah, when
she's
they're both on the phone.
Yeah.
with
I
Catcher
love
Block,
that.
and, like,
It's
she
so
is
genius.
awkward.
It's so silly.
I hate it so much.
No.
I hate it. Oh my God. Where she's like,
this movie is unique. I can say that. This movie is very unique. Like, what other...
it feels that I know that I've seen a Doris Day movie that did the same thing. I know I have, where it had the split screen telephone call, probably a Doris Day Rock Hudson thing, but
I'll be your rock if y'all be my Doris.
yeah, like they in the 50s they did not do the sex stuff. Like that's not okay.
That's the one
Like-
part that I feel like that final song at the very end that they're singing and they're very like it's very sexual. I don't feel like they'd be able to say that in the 1960s.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? Some of the lines from that song.
Maybe.
You
Yeah,
know?
but the whole point of the movie is to break you out of that.
Right.
It's the
they're
whole
moving forward. They're
progression
into
through
the
that.
new, you know,
And
it is. Like,
I mean,
like
fuck
fight
it.
the
It's
patriarchy
the
kind of
Doors,
movie.
dude. Like
It's
they
the
show the
Doors.
beatnik party. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just saying the
Yeah.
line, let's get to mating, I'll bet it bears reiterating. That's a bit much for the 60s.
I mean,
That's
a
a
little
bit
on the
direct
nose, a
for the
little bit.
60s.
Yeah, but again, the scene itself is very much a modern audience's sense of humor, not a 60s sense of humor.
Yeah.
Like, not a mainstream 60s anyway, maybe, you know. But yeah, the way they cut the scene, it looks like maybe they're having sex. They're talking to each other and, like, they're, you know...
Yeah,
they're-
she's
they're
laying on the floor and he's
exercising,
working out.
And he's, like, doing
He's doing
push-ups,
push-ups,
and
and
she's,
it
like,
looks
laying on
like,
her
yeah.
back, and
Right.
the screen has flipped like this horizontally. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she bends over to shake her hair out, and he opens his towel to like,
Yeah,
dry
like, from
himself off, and it's
behind,
supposed to say,
and-
ha ha.
Yeah,
It's silly.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know.
And then there's a scene where they're talking about they deliberately angle the shot where they're looking at the floor and like her shoes are scattered and something else is on the floor, ice bucket or something, and they're talking about it's so big or I can't get it to fit or
Oh
something.
yeah, and they're actually looking at the
And
moon.
they're actually looking at through a telescope at the moon,
Right.
but they make it sound like maybe they're having
Maybe they're
sex
having
over
sex.
there, and the camera
Well, they
pans.
did that same
But they're
thing in
also
Yeah.
both
Secret.
incredibly
They did.
flirting on purpose to try to get the other one
They are
to
yes.
go for them.
They're-
They're both trying to prove a point on each other, so they're both being stubborn when they obviously just want a point.
Yes,
Like,
clearly.
you know what I mean? And that's why after she leaves, he pours the bucket of ice water on his head, which I
Right.
did not get as a child. and my mom was
She
like,
grabbed
"Ha-ha."
the cake. She went back for the
She
chocolate
grabbed the
cake.
chocolate cake.
Oh yeah,
Because
chocolate.
that's her thing. Is in her book, one of the chapters was you get the same brain stimulus from eating chocolate as you do from having sex. So if you can realize that you can get that feeling without having another person there, then chocolate is a fine substitute.
She called it like down with love, up with chocolate.
Yeah, down with love, up
Yeah.
with chocolate. And that's her thing, is she's
What is the word? Aphrodisiac?
aphrodisiac. Well,
Aphrodisiac?
it wasn't quite an aphrodisiac, as it was a kind of a deterrent, like a placeholder.
Yeah.
You know what I
But
mean?
but the point is that her book helps sell chocolate, and then they get a deal with Hershey
Yes.
to have a chocolate bar that's themed with my book.
Yeah. And
So-
then her book like becomes worldwide famous. There's all these women like smuggling the book to each
That's
other.
a cool scene as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It goes to like all these different countries of all these different ways that they're reading the book, and one of them they have to
They're
smuggle
switching
it.
it under the hat, and there's one that's like it's in bread.
In a loaf of
bread.
In a loaf of
Right.
bread. So yeah, it's a popular book, and it's all written in these different languages, and now it's a worldwide phenomenon, and that's how come Catcher Block can't get any, because now the world knows of your scumbuggery.
Oh, I wouldn't say that word. I would not.
I mean,
quite.
that's what the secretary thinks
I
about David
mean,
Pierce.
That
but,
is what the secretary thinks.
No, no. With that
Oh,
word,
You know how sometimes
I delete the use
I'll
of
say
that
things
word.
and these people will react.
You just literally took
You
two
said-
words. Because you couldn't have said scumbag.
Yeah.
You said scumbug.
Baggery.
Because he's a scumbag.
Yeah, but
You said
scumbaggery.
scumbuggery.
You said you. I can't.
It's okay.
I can't.
With the scum
She
part, it's perfectly
slips
fine.
a little sometimes.
It's fine.
It's
No,
okay.
it's cool.
It's
It's a
okay.
little bit of a malaprop, whatever, just go with it.
You know who's
What is a malaprop?
David Head Pierce on Frasier? Thank you, Mr.
It's
Malaprop. It's when you
Mary
say
Crane
the
will be
wrong thing.
executed.
You
Oh,
say the wrong thing
yeah.
and it's comedic. It's
Yeah.
it's fine.
Like sideways irony, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so-
this movie's good. I like it. It's just that one
it's
scene.
fun. It's bright. It's colorful. Again, you and fucking McGregor. Like, I'm so serious, you guys. That man.
Well,
Like-
also you're susceptible to accents too, and he
I
has a
am
little
very-
bit of a country
First
accent.
off, he's got both them accents.
Oh goodness.
Like, he switched from very posh over here to being like, yeah, I'm from, like, Georgia or whatever. And I'm like,
Deep South.
I'm
Right.
okay. But you and fucking McGregor, like...
Said his middle name.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, apparently.
I'm just saying,
Apparently
like,
she take either the
there
posh
is
or
a-
the southern.
for me, there is a very large draw to this movie that not very many other people are going to feel.
Oh god.
Like,
Oh, that's a lie. Everybody wants
know
to do you
not
and McGregor.
everybody, a lot of
Oh
people
my
do. I
goodness.
understand. He is a
He
lovely
sings. You
man.
can't.
He does
Oh my
sing.
goodness.
He was really good in Moulin Rouge. I know it's not a good movie, but he did so
Oh
well.
goodness.
Like, I know it's Baz Luhrmann. We got to put up with it. But
that
red line!
I like that
It's
scene.
the worst.
I like that scene. I like
I think that's like my least favorite movie. Like just
like ever.
just
Not
ever.
just Baz Luhrmann, but that one
It's
is
so bad.
It's boring. It drags. You know,
Yeah.
there are these beautiful cinematic,
And then there's that
dramatic
scene with
moments,
Nicole
but then,
Kidman.
and then Nicole
And
Kidman,
the-
the
I can't.
Oscar winning,
I-
and I just she's
No.
again. Nicole Kidman is lovely. She does fine. Everybody does okay except
I
for
mean, there's
Richard
Jim
Roxburgh.
I love fuck out of Jim Broadbent.
I love Jim Broadbent,
but the movie.
but the movie,
Anyway.
and again, Baz Luhrmann, like
Even The Great Gatsby, man.
Even The
I'm
Great
trying
I
to
Gatsby.
never
pay
saw The
attention.
Great Gatsby
Like,
just because I don't
the
like
problem
Baz
with The
Luhrmann.
Great Gatsby was that everyone was treated way too goddamn nicely. Like, Tom was sympathetic, Daisy was sympathetic. They're not supposed
They're
to be.
supposed to be evil people. Rev it down, Dutch. Take your gun. Fact.
Anyway, down
I would
with
like
love.
to, real quick, it is a travesty that DiCaprio did not get nominated for that one.
Okay.
He
Okay.
was perfect.
Okay. So
Okay.
Leonardo
So
So
DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio as Gatsby was just beautiful. Like, he was perfect.
It's great. So Down with Love,
Down with
Flowers
Love.
and
Down with
Rice
Love.
and
Down
Shoes.
Love, Judy Garland is there. She sings
Yeah,
the
they
song.
bring her
Yes,
in
that's
for a
really
quick
cool.
second.
It's
Yeah.
really neat. They have, you know, like, interviews with Barbara on TV, and then, like, Ed Sullivan is like, and check it out, we've got Judy Garland, and she's here to sing a song.
Mm-hmm.
And Judy Garland goes out, Down with Love. Yeah, and it's nice. It's really, Judy Garland was lovely, and she had such a nice voice. And I like her song, and that's the montage where the book is just going off the charts because Judy Garland has shilled it. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
that's why people are like,
Well, it's supposed to show you like how famous it's gotten.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, it's hard to believe how famous it is if you just
Yeah.
tell me it's famous. But if you show me, oh, it's on this TV
Show
show
me
and this
suddenly-
interview, and she's got cardboard cutouts of herself.
then that's the thing. That's another thing that gets Catcher Block. He had not known her. He had not seen her. He assumed that she was some, like, you know, brown-haired spinsterette from, like, Alaska.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, he just assumed this about her. He did not assume, you know, he didn't think she was Renee Zellweger. And then he's walking down the street after the book has just exploded, and there's a picture of Renee Zellweger wearing this pink checkerboard dress with a white hat, and she's holding the book, kind of smirking a little, and he's kind of like, you know, and that's when he saw her, and he saw.
Well,
it's
because if he
Renee
doesn't agree
Zellweger.
with her ideas,
Yeah.
he assumes she's just going to be some
Well,
gross old
he
lady.
assumes that if you don't want to, if you're going to pretend like you don't need a man, clearly you can't get one in the first place.
Yeah, clearly
Right,
there's
like
no
that's his.
better.
Which is
That's
a
his.
fucked up ideology.
It is. So he does need to be taken down a peg, and that's quite nice that he is.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yes.
I'd take
So-
him down a peg. I'd take him down a bit. Just calm down over there.
Ewan McGregor and pegging.
No. No.
My brain said it. You did not need your mouth to
just-
say it. It made me happy. I don't need you to bring
Anyway.
it to light.
It's fine. It's fine.
Ain't nobody need to put those two words together in the same sentence.
It's
We're
fine. But
I'm just saying.
No. No. Okay. So some of the parts of this movie, though, some of the characters
there's
that
a
they
lot of
specifically
cringeworthy
put in,
stuff.
like the
There's-
beatnik character from the party.
Yeah. Oh, with the hair.
Yes. Ask me why I'm on, and he's like, "Why do you mourn, baby?" And I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I just can't. I can't. I know what she's saying, but also I mourn because I'm shrouded in the suit and tie that Madison Park Avenue will bury him alive, and I'm just like.
So yeah, like
Why is that attractive? Like, why do you talk like that? I don't know.
Well,
Did people actually talk like that back then? I mean, it
people
has to
talk
come
like
from
that now.
somewhere.
I
People
think
talk
so.
like that.
I'm
I
just
think-
saying.
Because
Yeah.
Matt doesn't talk
That's
like
always my question. I just realized I've said that like 10 times the last couple podcasts. Like,
Why do
when
people talk
something
like that?
doesn't make sense to me, I'm like, did people actually talk about that, or is that just
Right.
some writer being like, "Oh, here you go"?
Well, it's kind of like, the Shakespeare comedy character, the the character, the priest character from Twelfth Night.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that a real person? Was that a real person? Or was Shakespeare just making it up? Because I don't understand it. He's talking in double talk, and I don't...
That's fine.
There are people that study this. I
Anyways.
don't get it. Whatever. Down with Love does not have any of those moments. I understand the dialogue from start to finish.
It has plenty of moments where they're
It has plenty of moments where they talk a little highfalutin.
double
but,
entendres just everywhere.
but the double entendres are quite clear. We know exactly what they're talking about.
Because they're all sex jokes.
They're not subtle about it at all.
They're not at all subtle
No.
about the sex jokes in this film.
Like, there's a scene where he unwraps the chocolate bar and eats it very seductively.
starting at the bottom.
Starting at the bottom,
working my way
up
slowly
to,
up to the top, bites a piece
Uh-huh.
off.
And she's
Yeah.
just kind of like,
Wow.
and it's like, yes, I know exactly what you're going for with that. I get it. It's not concealed at all. So this movie, they don't. It's not super subtle. It's not very crafted. It's not overly crafted. It's very easy. It's an easy movie, but it is fun and it is likable, and I
it's worth
enjoy it.
It's worth it.
I enjoy it every time I watch it. It's funny.
Daddy hated it.
Daddy did hate it.
But I mean,
had very
it
little
is
patience.
pretty much a girly movie.
It's
I mean,
not
the
very
fashion.
smart. Like, well, yeah, the fashion is great. Like, that's a huge part of it.
Okay.
Right.
Argument.
Yes.
Boys
The
can like
woman-
fashion as well.
No, the women in the dance club with the rocket dresses
Yes.
flying to the moon.
Yes.
I don't need it.
Oh.
I don't need it.
Dance club.
The,
Dance club in the 60s.
The
Do your thing,
1960s
ladies.
sex robots from Austin Powers
Yeah.
that are
Well,
on that
the
stage.
Jetsons, they've got the
I don't
whole,
need it.
Oh my
I don't need
goodness.
it. The fur hats, the giant fur hats of the 60s, I don't need it in my life.
Oh my goodness.
I don't
it's
like
interesting.
The
It's
1960s
interesting.
were trying to be
It's
Just
different.
because I wouldn't wear that doesn't mean I don't like looking at it.
Well, right.
That's how I feel about Elton John.
Yeah.
I'm not going to wear that, but
Exactly.
he looks
Well,
amazing.
Honestly, I would probably wear that outfit that he wore in the very beginning of Rocket Man, the orange one.
Which one? Which one?
Oh,
The
goodness.
one with the wings and the horns.
Oh, the demon suit.
The demon suit. It's
Taron Egerton is a
beautiful.
delight, but that's
Taron
not...
Egerton,
No,
oh my God,
the
he's
white
gorgeous.
overalls
With
with
the
the
white
blue
oranges
long
with the blue.
sleeves with the foil
Like,
stars is the best
Elton
outfit
John
in the entire film.
in the 70s was adorable.
Oh my God,
Do you
he was.
remember Elton John when he
Man.
was
With his little
tiny?
chin?
He
Oh.
was so cute. And he had
So
a lovely
anyway.
voice. He still does.
Anyway.
He's very nice.
Bring it back.
Well,
To-
okay.
okay.
We're not
So,
talking about Rocket
back
Man,
to
even though
the-
I would love to talk about Rocket Man.
Yes.
I have seen it,
It
3
was
times now.
really
Are
good.
we allowed to talk
It
about
was-
Rocket Man real quick?
It's not the best movie ever.
Just super
It
real
is
quick?
the best movie
It's
ever.
not the best movie ever.
Oh my god, it's so good.
It's good.
Oh, I
It's
can't.
not-
Oh, it's so good.
it's-
I feel like I want to bring it back, but I also want to have one quick comment about it.
Are you
okay.
going to complain about...
No, I want to say something great.
Okay.
Taron Egerton was absolutely adorable in that scene where he was leaning against the microphone, trying to be like seductive, but also he was really awkward, but also he really wanted things, but also he was trying to be quiet about it. And it was the
Yeah.
best moment of attention, but I really want to hold back, but I really want this, but I really want to be cool, but I'm
Oh,
not
the
being
scene
cool.
where he's singing that song with that girl?
He's trying to
The
trying to
song from Ellen
flirt.
Shannon?
He's trying to flirt, but he's also trying to be cool, but calm, but not, and
Yeah.
it's the best 40 seconds of my life. Going back to the podcast, Down with
back to-
Love.
Yeah, no,
Taron
Down with
Egerton,
Love,
though,
you
was
have
amazing.
to not go in expecting Oscar-worthy movie.
Oh, God.
It's just not.
It's a little on the cringier side.
Yes.
It's like one of those where it's cringy enough to be a guilty pleasure, but I also love it so much.
I
and,
really
and
like
the
it. It's
cinematography wise
entertaining.
kind of brings it out of
the
that too.
soundtrack is fun. The acting is
Right.
fun. Ewan McGregor's pretty. I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
Oh.
Like
So was
sometimes
David Hyde Pierce.
Sometimes
Don't be
that's all
hating.
you
David
need.
Hyde Pierce is adorable.
Okay.
Don't be hating on David Hyde Pierce.
I do like David Hyde Pierce.
There you
Like
go.
I said, Niles Crane. So yeah. So you know there are some things that I just like looking at it. Okay, it's a nice looking movie.
Right.
Like
Well, like I said, the color is saturated. There's fashion
Yes.
everywhere. Like the sets are
some things are
Pretty
kind
cool
of
looking.
like that's hideous and I would never wear it. But
like what?
sometimes
Oh, like that red dress she's wearing in the montage where they're going on the dates.
the fringe.
That
like I
she
can't
spins and it's
stand
cool,
fringe.
but
It just no.
Mm.
But you know, you.
I mean, I would like to touch it,
exactly,
but I would
Like,
not wear it.
I hope it's soft. It looks like it would be soft, but it might be scratchy, and I don't.
True.
You know.
I don't know. Anyway.
But she does look good in red. Red's a good color on her.
Well, she's blonde.
She's blonde. She's a lovely woman. And she does great in this movie.
I think you're just a hater, too.
I think
that
one scene is awful, though. It's
like
the
they did that on
I timed it. I'm pretty sure it's like 5 to 7 minutes.
There's a scene where she has an eyelash on her face, and he goes, "Hey, you have an eyelash," and he reaches up, and it's very soft and very romantic, and my girlish heart is just like, holy shit.
And he even said eyelash.
And then he said, "Oh, you have an eyelash," and she said, "Oh, it sounded like you had an accent just then." He's like, "Oh shit, I gotta pretend to be Zip."
That's
At that
funny.
point, he's losing it a little because he's actually falling for her. It's nice. It's very nice. And again, like, you just have to just let it flow. Just accept it, because it's again it's not like Oscar stuff,
right?
But it is really good.
The whole thing is paced silly. Like, it's just got a very silly.
It's a goofy movie. Like, it's very
it's a goofy movie,
lighthearted.
That's a Disney movie.
No,
we could talk about that one eventually.
Nope.
It's so good. Cry every time.
A goofy
movie. Yeah. I do. I cry. A goofy movie makes me cry. And don't you lie. You cry too.
Because he came out.
You all fucking cry.
Apple pie in the sky.
That part,
what part
with
are
the
you
noodles and the I love you, and Max is like, and I'm just like, ah, and then Max puts the noodles and it says hi dad or whatever.
Woo! All right.
It's so sad. It's so sweet. It's so good. I cried literally every
Wrap
time.
it up.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So there's a chance probably none of y'all have seen Down with Love. I understand.
It's possible.
I recommend it. I think it's very fun. It's goofy good fun. And again, if you like Ewan McGregor, you're not gonna miss out.
Oh my goodness. Ewan McGregor is not the best thing about this film. I know she loves him so much, but
so
I
pretty.
am there for the cinematography.
The cinematography
and
is great.
The fashion
the fashion
and like
is
all
fun.
of that, and like the sets and everything. It's just nice to look at.
I mean, it is a good female power movie if you consider that Renee Zellweger wins twice.
Right.
Over Catch or Block. Scoops him twice.
Yeah.
He doesn't see that coming at the end. He doesn't see her gonna be like, whoop, I win again.
Yeah.
Like, that's really good.
I mean, it's a good feminist
that's
movie,
neat.
and she also gets the man too, so it's kind of like, wow.
Yeah, she gets to keep her job and get the guy.
It's
So
not one or the other.
One of those 1960s choices where you get to be the housewife or the... Because that was the option at the second act climax.
Grease.
That was the option during the second act climax, and she said, no, I don't want love, and I don't want you. Bye. And then she leaves, and that's why they have to resolve it that way. So plot-wise, that actually is super important to me.
I agree.
Yes.
Yes. The movie does have a handful of things to say.
Yep.
Just,
I need my shoes. That's my favorite line. I love David Hyde Pierce so much. I don't know
David
why
Hyde Pierce
that line makes me
so
laugh.
adorable. Like, he's just charming.
Because it's real. It's in the moment. You're in a restaurant. You've taken off your
you can't
shoes.
exactly just leave because, Anyway.
Okay. So, thank you for watching.
We'll be back next week.
Yeah, we'll be back next week.
I think it's my turn.
It is a
Your
Teresa turn.
You never know.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. We'll talk about whatever. It probably won't be Ewan McGregor because
No, I'll stay away from you anyway because I don't want to tangent 87 times.
I'm just
in the middle
saying.
of one podcast. So welcome to
Jeanette
Down with
is
Love.
the tangent.
You know who I want to talk about?
Appreciate this.
Ewan McGregor.
I'm sorry, she's the tangent queen. It's fine.
I know a lot of things.
I like to tell multiple things at
approximate
once.
knowledge of many things. So this is.
Okay.
I'm sorry, you guys. Do you not know me by now? This is how this goes. I love you guys. Thank you for letting me talk
About movies.
About movies.
About all the movies.
And, and
you just jumped to Rocket Man. You were in the 1960s. And
so was Rocket Man.
I know, but I'm just saying, you went from they're not the same movie though. Like
they're not the same movie at all.
Taron
They're not the
Egerton.
same theme.
Yeah, well, we were
Doesn't
talking
even-
about the fashion.
The fashion.
But Taron Egerton wasn't
I'm the
even
one who brought up
alive.
Elton John.
No, he was not.
In the 1960s.
He's only
He's 30.
28,
He's
30?
30.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He's
real
not
good
even
looking.
alive in the...
Stop it! That cannot be the best quality you give everybody.
I just
my goodness.
I just want to appreciate.
This one's a looker here.
He's also really good at
Again,
acting.
that one scene is the best scene in the whole movie.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Anyway.
Okay. Ewan McGregor, as far as I know, has never made me cry, but Taron Egerton has.
That was good. It was a good movie, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about Down with Love.
Okay.
Did Ewan McGregor make me cry?
I'm trying to think. I'm like,
You were the
McGregor.
chosen one.
You were the chosen one.
Shut the fuck up. I swear to God. Let's see, what's he been in? Okay, he was in that August Osage County where he was a
people
terrible
have
person.
cried over Moulin Rouge because it is very sad.
Oh, Jesus.
I did not cry because I was annoyed. But
Oh,
if
snap.
I were not annoyed, if I were into it, I probably would have cried.
Oh my goodness.
What else has he been in? Let's see.
Let me think.
We honestly haven't seen him in that many movies, have we? We just know him. Like
No, Big Fish makes me cry.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, but Big Fish
Yeah.
doesn't make me cry for
It was
him.
not Ewan
It's
McGregor.
because
The movie
of-
makes me cry.
Ooh, what's his name?
Albert Finney.
Albert Finney.
Albert Finney.
That's right.
That's a real good movie.
This isn't
Yeah.
how I die. It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a movie.
Just that last 10 minutes, I'm just broken.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, so next week, Teresa's turn.
Jason's turn.
We'll have a whatever.
She likes to just
topic.
withhold hers from
Yeah.
us until
Yeah.
Like-
we start, and then she goes, "We're
Like,
gonna do
by the
that."
way. So yeah, we'll find out.
It'll be a surprise.
They'll find out. There's so much more
Oh my
Like,
god.
to talk about.
Okay.
Kill me.
All right. This has been fun. Thank you very
Okay.
much. Okay. Bye.
Question mark. Bye.